you guys enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test. Big death in pop culture. Kind of a strange, a lot of people have a lot of different reactions to this death. Yesterday, O.J. Simpson passed away here, guys. 76. Today was it?
Well, the day we're recording, it was today. Well, maybe he may have passed
10th.
yesterday, I guess. Okay,
passed yesterday. It was announced today. So
that's not breaking news. That's cutting news.
Cutting news.
Oh,
cutting news. That's right. Mm-hmm. That's terrible. So 76 years of age, been battling cancer. I did not know this, but so it's just such a weird transition of events in his life. We all know who he is. Most people certainly know who he is, but football player, Hall of Fame player, literally. I mean, he has his bust in the Canton Pro Football Hall of Fame, which was actually stolen for a period of time, and they recovered it.
Irony that it's just ahead.
So
what are we dancing around for? He was on trial for accused of killing his wife and a random guy that was returning sunglasses. Allegedly.
Got acquitted, he got
acquitted.
Huge trial. Still to this day, one of the strangest things I ever saw on television was the Bronco chase. Just wild stuff. This is mid-90s when all this happened. I recall coming home, living with my buddy Jim at the time. Came upstairs and he's just watching him. What are you watching on television? It's just like O.J. Simpson running from the police, and it was a slow chase. It's just like wild. I remember just cracking a beer and sitting down and just watching it, just captivated by just the strange events that were going on. And then certainly the big trial, he got away with that, but then was later arrested
you must acquit.
Yeah, one of the best defense. I mean,
Nick, you haven't got to Jackie Childs yet. You got a couple seasons until you get to Jackie Childs.
Oh yeah, based on
Seinfeld.
OJ trial.
Yeah.
They do there's a lawyer that they kind of base off of. What's his name? What was his name, Brian?
Gosh.
Jesus, I know there was there's F. Lee Bailey, who also defended
We'll look it up here too, but it was the Kardashians' father was on the team as well, So, man, just a crazy thing.
Robert Kardashian,
anyway, I think he was later arrested in a robbery scam thing for sports memorabilia, and he was put in jail for that. Lost a civil case to the Goldman family. I don't know if he ever really paid much. I don't really know, but there's a lot of fascinating documentaries on OJ out there. I did see that the Hulu is airing. There was a series, the People versus OJ Simpson.
Johnny Cochran.
Johnny Cochran. That's it.
Yeah, right.
That's it. But
Gooding
is that what you were looking for? His name?
Yeah.
The lawyer's name? Oh shit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it was. Check if you've not seen People versus O.J. Simpson, that the miniseries, check that out. Definitely a good watch there too. Again, just tells the story of the very
watch it while you still can with Cuba Gooding Jr. because he's about to hit some fucking shit too.
Okay,
what did he get into?
He's part of the Diddy stuff. He's been
really?
He's heavily implied in a lot of shit. Yeah.
OJ later, after his, this is before his accusation, he was getting into movies, and he was a very famous sports commentator for some time. Was in the Naked Gun movies as a goofball character. Just a strange thing. So I'll just leave it there. So, Nick, what are your memories, and how are you going to remember? Is it simply just the the crime? Did you have other thoughts on him? What are your thoughts on O.J. Simpson passing?
I was just telling Robin today. I was like, I think back to as a kid, I first knew O.J. Simpson as a person in the public eye. I knew him from I had no idea he was a pro football player until many, many years later. I had no idea. And then let alone, not only was he just and I'm like, I didn't know he played in the NFL. Not only that, he was one of the greatest running backs there was. Like, he was
first guy
very,
to 2,000
very good.
yards rushing ever.
Yeah, I had no idea. But I mean, he was retired by the time I was alive. I didn't watch him play football. But as a young kid, I mean, I was born in '88. So, I mean, I was, a young kid. And I remember hearing adults talking about the O.J. Simpson trial and all this stuff. And that's I didn't, it's kind of weird to think back on. I didn't really, I just knew he was somebody. I knew who he was, but for no particular reason. I didn't see him on TV other than in a courtroom. I knew, I didn't, I don't know. It's odd. Like you said, it's what an odd career or whatever. What do you want to call it? His public, just his whole life, really, from being on top of the proverbial mountain there, all the way to the fall and everything. And then really, I mean, always kept getting into dumb shit, right? Like you said, he later went back to jail for stealing some of his own memorabilia. It just a lot of crazy stuff. Interesting person from what I hear about him, as far as you just kind of wonder what's going on in someone like that's mind if he in fact did what it is heavily implied, and you would think that he probably did. Why he something obviously was amiss up there, to even put yourself in predicaments like that, if, pardon the pun, but getting away with murder, and you kind of continue to put yourself in risky situations.
The craziest thing is when he wrote a book and he said,
if I did it.
If I did it.
Here's how I would have done it, basically. If I would have done it. This is, it's odd. I will say, and I'm not here trying to put pay homage to O.J. Simpson, whatever, but I don't know. He was a person. He had kids, whatever. I was listening to another podcast. They were talking about O.J., and apparently they had said that he had recently posted a video on X saying that he was doing good. He appreciated all the well wishes, and he's feeling like he's on the upswing. He'll be back on the golf course in no time, all this stuff. So I was curious, and I went and watched it. And I'm watching this video of O.J., and I'm just like, he had it. Man, he had the charisma, because here I am watching it and momentarily just forgetting all of the horrible thing. He was a very charismatic and seemingly sweet and likable guy. I'm watching these videos and he's just appreciate all the well wishes. I'll be back on the links in no time. I think I got this thing. He just has this friendly uncle vibe. I don't know what it is exactly, but again, I'm not trying to show you OJ through rose-colored glasses, but obviously with the horrendous things that he is implied that he did or probably did or didn't do, but probably did. He. I was telling Robin, because she goes, she was watching something about one of the times Nicole had called the cops, and you can hear him in the background screaming at her.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, how did this happen? How did he get away? And I said, well, there's two key factors here. If, again, allegedly. One, very powerful, very rich, a lot of connections, very right. He's the stature. He's somebody very important. Like it or not, that's the way the world works a lot of times. Secondarily, super fucking likable guy. If he wants to show you that side of him, that you know what I mean? There's
the prosecutors really fucked up that case in many respects too.
Yeah.
When they asked him to put that glove on, that was it. That they fucked themselves with that.
After Nick's love letter to O.J. Simpson, you guys cannot bust my balls about Kevin Spacey again. You hear me?
You know what? I kind of want to go buy. I want to go run a car from Hertz after this.
Think Kevin Spacey's worse.
I feel compelled to do that.
Yeah. No, I mean, yes, obviously, like I said, it's one of those things where tongue in cheek, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you allegedly, it's we all know he fucking did it. Obviously terrible fucking dude, but it's just what do you say? What do you say about somebody that passes? Certainly, it's something to touch on because huge in pop culture, and that's what we do here. But what do you say?
Good things, apparently.
Thoughts and prayers to his family. That
that's fair.
Kids?
Like you say, a kid.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah. There he was.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Dean,
what are your
would you
thoughts?
like to speak any more ill of the dead?
O.J. Simpson died. So that's that. Let me go ahead and touch on some
Let's
fun
talk
little
about
aspects
Conway
of
Twitty
pop
some more,
culture.
or whoever it was.
No, I'm going to touch on a little bit of pop culture aspects while you masturbate to whatever O.J. did. So F. Lee Bailey, one of the, I don't know if you're familiar, but
Nope.
F. Lee Bailey was one of O.J.'s attorneys in his dream team of attorneys, right?
Right. Yep.
I knew that he had some famous clients. He was a very famous L.A. attorney.
Did one give an OJ thumbs up on the screen?
Man.
He represented Patty Hearst. He represented who was the Boston Strangler. He also Sam Shepard. I don't know if you're familiar with the Sam Shepard case. I'm going to put my thumb down here. Sam Shepard was the guy who the movie The Fugitive was based on. Right? But in real life, Sam Shepard did get off for murdering his wife as well. But he also ended up becoming a professional wrestler for years. And then another fun thing that pop culture wise in this situation is I remember back it was WrestleMania like 12. They did a Hollywood back street fight, right? A backlot street fight, right? And it was Roddy Piper against Goldust. And they started in a backlot in Hollywood, and then they would come to the arena to finish the fight in the ring, right? But they used the aerial shot of the Bronco coming down the highway with the police behind it. But instead, Goldust jumped in a white Bronco, and then they cut to this OJ footage of the Bronco coming down the highway, saying, "Oh, they're on the way to the arena." Right. And another stretch to that is because the original suggestion and what they tried to do was supposed to be, from what the story was Roddy Piper. They tried to get O.J. Simpson.
Oh, really?
To wrestle at WrestleMania instead of Goldust, and have him fight Roddy Piper in that match, in like a street fight situation. So I'm not going to touch on anything he did, what sort of piece of shit
or didn't do.
Or didn't do. I just wanted to touch on some interesting pop culture adjacent situations.
Leave it to Dean to take a real sports hero and make it about a fake sport. Good job.
All right. Well, I'm going to be nice.
I'll just add, it was a strange dude. If he did what he did, he really was a pretty dark dude, because he played it off like he could just completely pretend like it didn't happen. And the trial was, at its time, was one of the craziest things on television. It was the really first big televised trial, and just crazy stuff.
Yeah. You guys both watched the People versus O.J. Simpson? Mm-hmm. Did you watch that?
I did see that.
I loved the way you watch all of it, like to the last episode and everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the way it ended. I just thought it was very.
I bet you
interesting
did.
The way he was portrayed, and the way he basically gets away with everything. He goes home, and he's in he's all his friends, he's expecting to go back to his regular life, and they just kind of where's everybody at? Where's everybody going? You know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, man, this is your life now. Like, you can get off with it, but like, everybody still knows. You know what I mean? Like, the he never escaped the perception. It never faded. It never went away. Yeah, he may, and it's, he lived another 30 years or whatever after that. But
Yep.
I mean, he never shook it, and nobody was ever like, "Oh yeah, remember that thing that happened with like OJ was forever OJ."
Yep.
That was never gone.
Yeah, at the time, it really showed a lot of racial divide still in the country.
Is it a fitting punishment for getting away with murder? No, but it, you know what I mean? Like it never went away.
Yep. Crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to look up here because there was the one story, People versus OJ. I want to say that it was who was right here? I think it was John Travolta, right? Because in the original court case, when they did the verdict, the woman stood up and messed up the reading at first, and the actress stood up and messed it up, and he stopped the production and like yelled at her like in front of the cast. Because she did it twice. Like, he kept stopping her until they had to stop him and go, no, that's in the script. That's how it actually happened. So, like, he didn't understand that he didn't read the script. He didn't know that that's how it happens. But that's a neat little anecdote about that People versus OJ.
There you go. A fine way to end this segment. John Travolta getting angry at people.
Right. I think we killed it, guys. I think we killed it.
That's right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. We killed the segment.
Did you just see that shit? If you liked what you saw, like and subscribe. Come back. You're going to want to.
Ham gravy.